Alright, thank you guys for watching. This is Aeonic. So this is the next place we'll be going through in Cobalt Scar to Sirens Grotto. So it's in the northernmost portion of the map, right next to the port from Skyshrine, or the spot. So, it is in the water. You have to be a little careful because there are some mobs, but beyond that, let's go through. Sirens Grotto is considered to be an indoor zone, so again, prior to going in, you're going to want to have a movement speed buff clicked, because inside you can't do it. So one of the things you should be cautious of is these are some pretty nasty mobs inside this zone. And it's difficult to get through because, well, I'll show you when I get in. So a trick I got told from a friend was don't kill any mobs in this zone because you will wreck your faction. So right now I'm threateningly, but if I cast my Bard Alliance spell, apprehensive. Now normally most spells are only temporary, but this is permanent. It's weird, strangely enough. So every single mob in the zone now I am apprehensive to and not kill in sight. So normally this is pain. Now most of these mobs that are on the land, they do not see through invis, so you can invis through these guys. Here's the problem. These guys, these cold spine seahorses, they will see through your invis. So most of the time it's kind of a mad rush to get through this zone. And I remember the first time when I tried to do it, I had no idea what was going on. It was pretty dangerous. So this is how you get through the zone. So you come in the entrance and you're going down this tunnel way. And you want to make like hell, because if you don't have good faction, they're going to be smacking you the whole way up. And there you go. Just jump on down. And you are pretty much through. You just run down this tunnel. And this is how you get to Western Waste. One of the things about this particular zone in Sirens Grotto is there's a really nice drop. Actually, that's one of the best in slots for enchanters, but bards can also use it. And it is this item. I'll show you. Water inventory. So what's cool about this illusion is it lets you breathe underwater. You don't need a water clicky item. And you can see pretty high in charisma and intelligence. Very good for a caster. Could be useful for a bard if you're really trying to charm or mez, but I never really needed any help. I got good enough charisma. And the last thing I'll show is, I mentioned in the previous one the scout tools. The scout roll. So where you run for that is right above. Actually, people will gather right around here on this hilltop, and they'll wait for Scout Clarissa to spawn. Yeah, somewhere around here. And then the giants, they usually spawn down here. You just kite all the junk ones around that you don't need, and just keep the captain, the one that actually drops what you want. But that is pretty much all. It's easier to run back through Sirens Grotto than it is to come than it is to originally go through. But you have to be careful because, at least in my impression, there's no mobs that are immediately available for the faction song. So this is how I do it. So you're going to want to invis. You can't faction song these walruses, they won't work. Or sea elephants or whatever, okay. You have to faction one of these mole cars or the little seahorses that are in the water. So make sure there's no mobs around. And click the faction song. And good to go. Can run through now. But running out, how do you do that? Oh, I think there's an enchanter in here charming right now. So enchanters, you'll commonly find them in here for that Nereid shawl. It's really useful, and most people tend to sell it for about 10k, the loot rights. So you just run out of the tunnel, and you are jumping down here. And you are pretty much back at the entrance. There's the entrance right there. Before I go, I could show where that Nereid shawl, where you find it, where people tend to kite for it. So that's the entrance. Not kite for it, but kill mobs for it. Not here. This takes you to that bridge that's above, but there's an underwater pathway. Here it is. It's just a tunnel nearby. And this is where I typically see people kill. I think if these guys drop them, the Nereid maidens. But again, if you haven't gone through, you don't want to wreck your faction, because it is a pain to get through the zone to the water because of the sea and Viz mobs. Priestess Sursima. What is interesting about you? No loot known. Let me see if there's any info on her. Looks like some pretty decent items. Green shell necklace, everlasting breath. And I don't know if this is correct, but anyways, yeah, so that's that particular portion. Now I'm just gonna run back out. And one thing to keep in mind is if you really do need to get out in an emergency, you get aggro and you're about to die, this will save your bacon. I think they're about 400 plat right now, speaking as of January in 2019. And you just put it in an inventory spot, click it, and you are out of there. And the quest isn't that hard to do, actually. You could even save yourself the money. The hardest part is the Dragoon Dirk. But that is pretty much all. Thank you guys for watching. This is Ionic, and see you guys in the next video.